My granddad was the main person that meant anything to me. Because he was honest, straightforward, straight down the line, black is black, white's white, there's no grey. You always knew where you stood. He was the nicest guy ever and he helped absolutely everybody. One of my granddad's favourite sayings was, I started with nothing and I've got most of it left. And I can honestly say I did start with nothing and I've got most of it left. My name's Danny Dawes and I'm the founder and one of the directors of Grandad's Front Room, Bognor Regis. I'm a Yorkshireman. I was born in Sheffield. My mum and dad one was a sales rep, one was a retail salesperson. And when I was 15, almost 15 years old, my mum spent an extra, I think it was 2.5 pence on another line on the pools because she'd messed the pools coupon up. And a week later, she found that she'd won £756,325.90. I still remember the figure now. And that's the moment that I realised that money doesn't mean virtually anything apart from paying bills, because it turned my father into somebody that I didn't want to know, even though we didn't get on well before that. So yeah, money to me, it's a necessary evil. My dad seemed to like buying things that he didn't need, buying properties, buying a racehorse, or rather buying a whole racing stables, and I didn't want anything to do with it. So as soon as I had the chance, I moved away. I went to work in a bar part-time, collecting glasses when I was still at college. When I was studying to work in a bank, can you believe it? I worked in a bank for 2 weeks, accidentally kicked the emergency bar at the bottom that sets the alarm off and thought, this is really not for me, after getting locked in the safe more than once as a prank by people that were older than me. So I left, stayed in the bar and thought I'll do this till I find something I can sort of feel happy with, and finished in bars about 22 years later. Obviously it took me a long time to sort myself out. Then I had an altercation in a bar in London. I ended up having to go to hospital because of what happened. And whilst it was happening, I phoned my area manager and resigned, and disappeared off to France for 4 years and just worked over there. I came back to Britain on the ferry from Roscoff to Plymouth. I drove along the coast to take me longer to get back to London, so I wasn't looking forward to it. My car broke down in Chichester and I'm still here 24 years later.
So, what brought you and Stevie together in the end?
I think it was punishment.
Excellent. That's perfect.
I'm ready now.
Okay, so to start
No
with,
laughing. Okay, so I grew up in a pagan family in the New Forest, a place called Buell, Church Street in fact. My mum was a midwife, dad was a Royal Marine. My grandmother also lived with us, she was also a midwife. Initially I was going to train to become a doctor, but I was too keen to just get into the services, so I joined the Royal Navy at a very early age. I'm only 38 now. And I did 27 years in there, almost 28 years. I went in as a medical assistant and I worked my way up to being a paramedic practitioner, and something I loved a lot. I ended the service there after I was injured in Afghanistan on my 4th tour. I'd done enough of that, I'd done enough of medicine completely, I'd seen too much. I took a little bit of time out and then I ended up here, running the place obviously. You know, you've met Danny. I met Danny in here on a December I think it was, and we just gelled straight away.
Stevie came in one day after he'd finished doing what he was doing and walked in and we started talking, and do you know what, it's basically a blur since then, because it's like I haven't got a lot of family, haven't got hardly any family at all apart from my family, my children, my partner, and my family now is made up of the ones that live in my house and Stevie.
The only people that I have that class as family are Danny and his family and Nan. You know, I've got lots of friends, but I keep my circle very, very close. But I don't have any blood relations left that are not with us anymore.
He's my work wife. I have a home wife and I have a work wife now, and I spend more time with him than I do with my family. But together we're a force to be reckoned with, and we do what we do because it should be done, not because we have to.
This shop is all about what my values are regarding people, which is to help people, certainly people that are struggling. And the core value to that is to help someone if they're prepared to help themselves. If they just do that 0.5% or 1%, they've got to do that, and then I would help them with the rest. And Danny's values were exactly the same.
But people came to us. We knew there was a need because people were coming to us for help, and you can't turn people away. You treat people the way you want to be treated. To help people that need help, to help people that help themselves, that's important. If people aren't going to help themselves, then we don't help them. And that is a big part of Grandad's front room's ethos. We are known for being a bit strange and for being slightly unpolitically correct. We are definitely not snowflakes in any way, shape or form. But if somebody comes in and they need help, then they will get help and they will get empathy. And one of the reasons they get empathy is because all our directors at Grandad's Front Room are from different walks of life. They age from 21 years old right up to 82 years old. They go from me with acute anxiety disorder to Stevie, who's a 27.5-year service ex-veteran. And all of our directors have got different stories that match with different people in the community. So we can, virtually no matter what the problem comes through the door, somebody will have empathy with them and we'll sit with them and talk to them. We'll never judge people. We will just try and help, but we help them that help themselves because we have little time, very, very, very little money, and we just believe in doing what should be done.
Within town, Danny and I are very well known as word of mouth. Every agency that knows, so we work along with Stone Pillow, we work along Cancer Research, we work with the social services, we work with the police, we work with every agency imaginable, and the first port of call they'll say, pop down to Grandad's because the guys will be able to help you. Between the two of us we will know someone, we will have a phone number or an email address to get someone some help. And we're not just talking about Bognor Regis and surrounding villages, you know, we're as far as Worthing or as far as Portsmouth and up. So on a daily basis anyone could walk through the door, from domestic abuse, violence, being homeless, needing help with anything. I don't know, someone might have been diagnosed with having diabetes and need a fridge or something like that. You know, they haven't got the funds to get it, so we would then make that priority to do that day. So I get to meet a lot of people that come through the doors. They might have come out of jail, they might have come out of domestic abuse, they might have come from something really awful. The house may have burnt down, you know, they have nothing. So we start from scratch. So if I give you an example, a homeless person that may come to the door, they're going to be quite scared, maybe embarrassed, worried, and years of experience, you pick up on that straight away and you break the ice with them straight away. And within 30 seconds you know where you're going with them, whether you're going to be initially just providing them with a bit of food, a hug, sleeping bag and sleeping stuff, and then progressing them onto the other agencies and moving them into accommodation and supporting them from there. And there have been a couple, at least 6, that I've met, I've gone through the process with them, and then I don't see them for 8 months, 10 months, and all of a sudden they just turn up on the door and they're like, do you remember me? And I'm like, of course I remember you. And they've got themselves clean, and they've got themselves a job, and they've got themselves a partner, and they just come and give you the biggest hugs and love, and that's payment for me, because I know that they're okay. Yeah. It does get very stressful, it does get difficult, but it is so rewarding.
So that's what we do. So anybody struggling, domestic violence, escaping, addiction, homelessness, or just struggling thanks to the current government, then we will stand in and we will help wherever we can.